Start. What is this public sector? Stop. I am not just referring to Jawaharlal Nehru just like that as Congress people do. Stop. I am sincerely referring to Jawaharlal Nehru. Stop. He said, public sector undertakings are the modern temples of modern India. Stop. Why are you selling those modern temples? Stop. Why are you demolishing those modern temples? Stop. This is what I am asking you. Stop. Dr. Manmohan Singh, as Prime Minister, admitted in the same August House that public sector is the strength of India. Stop. Mr. Pranab Mukherjee had to admit that our fundamentals are quite strong. Stop. We asked, what are the fundamentals? Stop. It is the public sector undertakings and public sector banks. Stop. They are the fundamentals of Indian economy and they are strong. Stop. But you are weakening the fundamentals of Indian economy. Stop. Then you are saying that our economy is in bad shape. Stop. This is because of your wrong policies. Stop. Now the time has come, you will have to review your policies, the neoliberal economic policies. Stop. The Congress failed to review and they had to face the wrath of the people and they have been defeated. Stop. And the same fate is waiting for you. Stop. The same destiny is waiting for you. Stop. Nobody can escape the wrath of the people if we think we can betray the trust given to us by our people. Stop. You should learn a lesson from the last election. Stop. So, sir, this budget needs to be worked and it should become really pro people and pro poor. Stop. As of now, this budget is against poor, this budget is anti people, this budget is pro corporate houses, pro big business houses. Stop. That is why I strongly oppose this budget and urge the members of this house to oppose it irrespective of their party in the interest of the nation, as a whole. Stop. Mr. Minister, your budget removes wealth tax. Stop. You talk about fiscal deficit. Stop. But who is paying for the fiscal deficit? Stop. It is not the corporate houses, but it is the poor, who are burdened to pay for fiscal deficit, to sustain your economy. Stop. Since 1990 onwards, the trajectory is like that. Stop. India, which started its economic trajectory as a welfare state, has been transforming into a neoliberal state, a market-oriented state. Stop. That is where you commit mistakes, and your government, is, actually pro-corporates, and all your policies are not in the interest of working people or agricultural workers. Stop. Mr. Deputy Chairman, while I welcome the small extent to which the government has gone in accommodating the interests of the panchayats and the interests of the tribals in the amendments that they are bringing, I rise to extend my full support to the amendment moved by Shri Rajiv, principally, because when this matter was remitted to the select committee, there was a restriction of time placed of 7 days, but there was no restriction placed on our consulting with the state governments. Stop. Shockingly, despite the fact that the mining secretaries of the states were in Delhi, at that time, they were not allowed to be brought before our committee. So, we had absolutely no consultation with the states, and a completely bogus argument was put forward that because the government has consulted the states, there was no need for the select committee to consult the states. This amounts to saying that parliament is not necessary in the eyes of this government. We have seen in consequence of that about which the leader of BJD in the house has given us the views of Odisha. If it had come before our committee, we would have never been able to present the bill in this form. Similarly, we have just heard the view of Jharkhand. We can see that if only the select committee had been allowed to do its fundamental job, which is that of consulting with the owners of minerals, this report would never have come in this form. I, therefore, plead that Shri Rajiv's proposal be accepted so that the matter is recommitted to the select committee and the select committee is able to complete its task instead of being railroaded as it was into presenting the present bill. Secondly, I think, the point raised by Shri Tulsi and referred to by Shri Verma is of utmost importance. We are on the edge of passing a bill that is likely to be declared ultra vires because not even Shri Tulsi was given the opportunity of expressing himself in the committee, let alone our receiving expert advice from constitutional experts in this regard. My third comment relates to what Shri Arun Jaitley stated as we were discussing this matter here. He described obstructionism as a sadistic thrill. If it is, then I say that they had the same opinion while they were in the opposition. Mr. Vice Chairman, I think whatever time is allowed, that is my due time and legitimate time, and I will speak within that. So, I start with Honorable Minister's presentation while placing the bill. Please don't put an imputation that we are not in favor of transparent way of dealing with things. Don't put that imputation, that is a false imputation. If you go through our amendment, for your so-called transparent mechanism, I think, there is no opposition to that. We oppose the bill on certain basic premises. You are altering the basic structure of the Coal Mines Nationalization Act. After a long experience of private mining, they have nationalized the coal mining sector, and thereafter, the coal production in the country got more than quadrupled, coal conservation has improved, coal mines accident situation has considerably improved, and the workers lot has also improved a lot. So, you are trying to reverse this in this bill by allowing the coal block allottees to mine coal not only for own consumption but also for sale or any other purpose. Stopera. That will be the opening up of the denationalization process which the country achieved, the people of the country achieved, not only the government or the prime minister. Stop.